Hello friends, how are you? If you're like me, you're bored as hell. So, I'm trying to think of ways to make myself less bored and hopefully for you to be less bored. So if we're like really friends in real life, you know that I love to bake because it's literally all I do. And that my favorite thing to make are the French macarons. Anyway, if you have ever wanted to know how to make these bad boys, just stick around because today we are going to make In case you're not entirely sure what a macaron is, let me explain it to you quickly. It is a French pastry that it's comprised of 2 meringue cookies that are put in sandwich form with a tasty filling, and here we have a dark chocolate ganache that is the filling. Historically, while these are considered to be French today, they are believed to have originated from Italy, and that it was Catherine de' Medici who brought them to France when she married Henry II in the 16th century. The ingredients you will need today are almond flour, powdered sugar, unsweetened cocoa, granulated sugar, and 5 eggs. And I do measure my ingredients by weight, so we're going to start with 190 grams of almond flour, followed by 310 grams of powdered sugar, and 30 grams of unsweetened cocoa. You want to mix them together very, very well. You could even sift them together like I was going to do, I just forgot to do it, so that's confusing for no reason. Once the ingredients are well incorporated, you can set off to the side, then measure 95 grams of granulated sugar, and then set that off to the side, and then it's time to get our eggs going. You need to take 5 eggs and separate the egg yolk from the egg whites. I think it's really important to do it one at a time because the worst is to crack your 5th egg and get a little bit of egg yolk in the mixture and then have to start over. Once they're all separated in the bowl, I add a dash or 2 of salt. This really helps stabilize the egg whites and to get them frothing quicker. And then I whisk on a high speed, the highest speed possible with the hand mixer. Once the egg whites begin to froth and look like a bunch of snot in the bottom of the bowl, I slowly incorporate bit by bit the granulated sugar. It's very important that you do it like this and not all at once, either at the beginning or the end, because you will not be able to whip the egg whites into a meringue that have enough air for the baking process. So please make sure you take your time when doing this. Once you get a stiff enough meringue, you can flip the bowl over upside down and nothing will fall out like I just do there. And then you want to actually add the meringue to the dry ingredients and fold them together until you get a smooth texture. This does take a while to do, but you need to make sure that you continue to fold the ingredients together instead of simply whipping together a batter so that you can maintain as much air as possible from the meringue. Once you can make a figure 8 with the tip of the spatula like I just did there, you know that you are ready to go. Now that the batter is complete, the next step is to put it into pastry bags. I like to use a number 12 piping tip in my pastry bag. I think it's the perfect size to pipe the meringue cookies onto cooking sheets. I also like to put my pastry bag into a tall, heavy glass. It helps hold the pastry bag open while I fill it with the batter. This recipe also makes a lot of batter, so I also prepare 2 pastry bags right from the get-go so that I don't have any batter left in a bowl to dry while I am working with the pastry bags. Let's clean our surface because #coronavirus. And now the baking sheets. It is very, very important that you tailor the parchment paper to fit perfectly into the cookie sheets so that the parchment paper lays flat. Oh my god, I am so bald, that's horrible. And then you want to pipe out your cookies. Now we're going to shift angles so that you can see it from this way. As you can see, I have the pastry bag perpendicular to my working space, and it is absolutely imperative that you hold the pastry bag so that you push the batter out onto the cookie sheet as so. If you turn it to the side, you will get ugly ass cookies. No ugly ass cookies in my kitchen, please. So make sure that you Hold the pastry bag, again, perpendicular to your work surface when piping out your cookies. Once they're all piped and ready to go, you want to let them dry for around 45 to 60 minutes so that they can form a shell before they go into the oven. Once the cookies have dried, you can bake them in the oven at 300 degrees for 13 minutes. You'll know that they're good to go because they'll be firm and smooth to the touch. Unfortunately, no matter how hard you try, your cookies will not all be the same size. So all I'm doing here is just being an annoying perfectionist and making sure that each sandwich has 2 cookies that are matching in size so they don't look ugly. The final step is obviously filling the cookies and putting them into sandwich form. So in order to do this, you take a cookie and you pipe the ganache onto the bottom of the cookie, and then you take a second one and you put the bottom side of the second cookie facing the bottom side of the first one and push them together, and this is the iconic macaron sandwich cookie that you can see all over France. For the dark chocolate ganache filling, it's 225 grams of heavy whipping cream and 225 grams of dark chocolate chips. It's very simple. You just heat your heavy whipping cream in a saucepan over medium heat until it is warm enough to melt the chocolate. You whisk the two together and then you let it sit until it's at room temperature. And then it should be at this perfect consistency to pipe and to make your sandwich cookies. So there you have it, folks. That is how you make the French macaron. And I hope that you are now inspired to make some yourself for you and your family. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I will gladly help you with anything that you need. Bon appétit!